Well, a few days ago, I was looking at the latest downloads here on the Commodore.net website, and what's this? We got a new version of the firmware. It's version 1.1.0. What's up with that? Let's get this thing installed. This is what's next. Well, in the viewer comments video where I found out that there was this difference between what this system says compared to what the website says, I was a little confused. So if we happen to go into our ultimate menu, and I'm doing F5 to skip straight down to the system information, there you can see 3.14. Well, I printed off the instructions, and basically it just says that, yeah, the earlier version was 3.14 and will be retroactively referenced as the initial 1.0, even though it says 3.14. So starting with this latest version, they're going to start going with 1.x. So the first version is now 1.1.0. Obviously, we have the change log. We could bring that up either by printing it out like I did after you download it, or you can go to the changelog here and you can view the information, same exact information that I printed out. And we'll cover some of these items in this video, but really the main thing that we want to do right now is we want to get this thing downloaded. So let's go ahead and click the link button, and there we go. I've minimized the window. Let's go and open up the folder. And you can see we actually have two files. We have, it looks like that is going to be our upgrade file, 4.6 megabytes, and the changelog text, which again is that same thing that we saw on the website, and the same thing that I printed off. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into FileZilla. Here we are, and I need to connect to that C64. All right, there we go. That's, I'm going to go to the SD card, and what I want to do is I'm going to create a new directory, and we're just going to call this update, and we're going to do that, and we're just going to drag that to our window. And there we go. We are uploading. So let's head on over and get the Commodore updated. Back to the main screen again. Commodore Restore gets us back to the menu. I'm going to do F3 to go straight to my disk file browser. Let's enter. Go into SD card, enter. There is our update. Now I've already done a flash backup. So if we go into that really quick, that has my carts, HTML, and ROMs. Now you might be asking, hey, how did you do that? So if we go back into our disk file, well actually let me go A. And we go back A again, and we go into our flash memory, at least the way that I've been doing it. If I go in here, what I can do is I can press Commodore C to copy that file. Then you exit out, I'm using the A key, go to either your USB or your SD card, get into that. You're going to enter that, and then, you know, again, you can make a directory, and then you can just paste it. So that would be Commodore V. So we've already done the backup, so we're all good there. What I want to do is I'm going to go down to update, and if I hit enter, now I've not done this. I am running that 3.14, so let's see what happens. Enter, run update. There we go. Commodore 64 Ultimate Updater. Wednesday, April 8th, that's today's date, and it's going to ask, do you want to reformat the flash disk? Because I have everything backed up, that's fine. First off, it did checksums on loaded images, FPGA image is okay, and application image is okay. So I'm going to go ahead and press yes, or enter. To update continue, yes again, and there it goes. It's recreating all of the items there. Now we're flashing the FPGA and all the programming that goes along with that. All right, the ultimate application, that's now flashing. Configuring flash write protection, done. We have a Wi-Fi module detected, the ESP32. It's also flashing that. Okay, that was successful. I'm going to hit OK. Reset configuration, I'm going to say go ahead. Now, because of that, like a lot of the settings and whatnot, that's all going to have to be redone. Turning off the machine in 5 seconds. And it looks like it does a complete turning off the machine. I'm going to click the button there. that is our starting screen, Commodore Restore. I do know that you can see there's some changes here because it's, the video is not right. So I need to go down to video, and you can see it's set back to PAL. So it needs to be NTS is what we want. And SD is fine. Okay, we're gonna do that. Save changes to flash. Okay, and then we have that set back up. So there we go. We've done a update. Let's double check and see what it says. Hit enter, and there you go. Software version 1.1.0 on March 16th, 2026. So far, successful update there. Thumbs up on that one. One of the first features that they added, it says navigation left arrow, top left of the 64 keyboard. That is this key right here. And if I press that, it'll go back in the menu system. So that's the same as doing your A key or your cursor keys over here. So you have multiple ways now to back out of the menu. So just to show you that it works, I'm pressing the back arrow key. I don't know if I can get this into the frame. There we go. And you can see that it goes back in the menu. One other thing, we actually have USB mouse support. And it says it should support most mice right here. Some proprietary USB mice may not work. So keep that in mind. Let's give that a test. We'll go ahead and launch Geos. All right, I've not done this before, so we have this all set up, and it does look like I am not, it's seeing the clicking, but it's not moving. So I am trying to use this mouse, but it's not doing what it needs to do. I'm going to try another mouse here real quick. Okay, mouse number 2 is also not working unless I click the right button, and then it'll go up. And if I click the other button, the buttons are working, but it's still not seeing the actual movement of the mouse. So I got one more mouse. Let me see what I got here. All right, this time I got my Raspberry Pi mouse, plugging it into the farthest port to the left. And again, I can click, but it's not working. Let me restart the app, and then let's see maybe if it'll see it. As I am booting up, I did adjust the power light so that it now acts like the power light and drive indicator for disks that are being loaded. Of course, right now it's not doing much at all. Just kind of sitting there. There goes. That's what I wanted to catch. It's a fun feature. Doesn't really make it any more useful, but it's fun. All right, we're booted back into Geos, and the mouse is still not working. All right, it is what it is. That part still is not working for me. So then the LED lighting, that was output 1. These are your options now. So I'm going to go back and just leave my power light on the whole time. So that's done. Save that flash. Let's look at the web interface real quick. I'm very interested on that one. All right, so on here, the first item here, I think the SID player is now drag and drop. You have that option there. The basic editor actually has a few more controls. You have a uppercase tick right here, so you can go uppercase. And again, this is where you would paste all your code. We're going to be doing a video here shortly where we're going to use this feature. And then one of the other things that stood out was the firmware releases. If you remember correctly, it went to Gideon's website. Now it actually goes to Commodore.net. Again, you can go to Commodore.net, go to menu, and go to downloads, and you can select the change. Let's see, where is it here? The change log item right here. If you want to get more information about what was done. So hopefully walking through this was helpful. So that's a look at going through our Commodore system and getting the latest version of the firmware installed, version 1.1.0. Hopefully this was helpful. If you like what you saw, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to click the subscribe button. If you want to watch one of my other videos, you can either go here or here. And until next time, I'll see you again for another episode of Hey, What's Next?